Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Guy with a Plant. In today's episode, I'm going to rescue some really ugly Scindapsus that is dying. This one has got to be the worst. Look at all the dying leaves. This is a Scindapsus silver cloud, and it has been trailing down all the way, so it's probably entangled somewhere. So let me try to remove this and I will see you in a bit. Oh my goodness, look at how dry this is. I think some parts of the stems are already dead, totally not viable. So I need to cut this off, and hopefully the green parts are still okay. The leaves are really curled up. Even though I have been watering it, I think it's unable to absorb any more nutrients. Because yeah, look at the stems, it's really shriveled. So it's not giving it enough water and nutrients to this part. So I really got to quickly cut them off, and hopefully they can survive this propagation. I got this as a 2-leaf cutting. The leaves were very big and very beautiful. I'll put a photo up here, and you will know why this is one of, or used to be one of my favorite Scindapsus. So yeah, let's try to rehab this. Actually, this is only a single vine, but I think part of it has rooted itself further down the vine. So I'm going to just cut this off somewhere here, and hopefully there'll be new growth that will branch out from this older vine. Okay, before that, let me remove all these dead leaves. So this is the original branch, and yeah, this part I think I got to cut it off because it's totally dead. So I'm going to trim off all these vines that are totally dried out. And I'm going to get some wet sticks from this as well. I managed to get some cut stems with nodes on them, so hopefully I can propagate this. These are the cut leaves with a node. I'm actually not very confident that they will survive, especially this with the curl up leaves. They don't look really happy. As you can see, some of them have aerial roots, so I think that is at least helpful. Okay, these two are looking better, so I'm pinning my hopes on this. And as for this, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. So yeah, the stem, and these are all the dried out vines and leaves. And this is the original vine, so hopefully something will sprout out of this. Okay, I'm going to propagate the cuttings in sphagnum moss, perlite, as well as water, which I'm very confident they will root. And I'm using this moist sphagnum moss in this Ziploc bag to propagate the stem cuttings. The two better looking cuttings, I'm just going to place them in this perlite, which is already wet. Right, this cutting has a new leaf which is still very tender, and unfortunately I don't think it's going to make it such a waste. I think I'll put this in the moss, but this is a little bit big, so let me cut this into half. This has two yellowing leaves, so I think these leaves will not survive. Alright, as for the rest of these curly leaves, I'm going to put them directly into water. I think they will appreciate the moisture. Hopefully they can perk up. Okay, this is not going to work. Let me see if I can get a flatter container. Okay, I found this recycled plastic container, which actually was meant for food. Oh gosh, I don't think this is going to work at all because the leaves are really curled up. It's going to touch the water. So I'm going to put a whole bunch of this in moss instead. Okay, I'm going to transfer this moss to this container. I think it's easier to manage. Okay, I've placed all the cuttings in moss. I'm not really confident, to be honest. Okay, for the stem cuttings, I'm just going to put them in this bag of sphagnum moss. Okay, did I say the worst one is the silver cloud? I think this one is even worse. This is the jade satin. No, this is not variegated. I don't know why there are some yellow spots on this leaf. Anyway, this is the only surviving leaf. Look at this whole mess. Let me bring this to the table. Okay, I got this jade satin I think about a year and a half ago, and it came as two or three leaf cutting. It was really beautiful. The leaves have this shade of emerald green, and it was actually doing very well until I gave it way too much light, which it doesn't like, obviously. I have all these dead leaves. You can hear it's really crispy. I'm not sure whether can I still salvage this. Yeah, maybe this vine is still viable. I think most of it is dead. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, actually I see a new growth here. So not all is lost. Let me just cut off these dried vines. Okay, there's basically nothing I can do except to cut off the dead part. So this is really cute with this existing leaf. And hopefully something will sprout out from this new growth, perhaps a new vine. As for this whole mess, I can see some green parts on the stem. I'm not sure whether, yeah, maybe I'll get some stem cuttings from this. Remove the leaf. Okay, even though this is green, but it's super thin, so I don't think it will survive. So these are the only two green stems that I managed to save. I'm not hopeful, but yeah, let's see. Okay, that's all I have from the stem. I'll put this in a bag of moss. Look at all this mess, dead plant material. Okay, this is all that's left of the jade satin. Okay, the last Scindapsus is the silver hero. Let me bring this to the table. Whoa. I've actually not brought this out to take a closer look for a long time, and I must say it's looking really good. It's definitely the best of the whole bunch. Maybe this should have been my first Scindapsus to show. Yeah, I'm not sure how many subscribers did I lose after the first two. Yeah, this is sold to me as a silver hero. I'm not sure whether is this the same cultivar as the platinum, which is also very silvery. For the platinum, I know the leaves are totally silver, but for this, there are still some dark patches on the leaves, so I'm not sure. But anyway, this is sold to me as silver hero, and it's looking really good. I bought this as, I think, a single leaf cutting almost 2 years ago. I didn't do anything, and it was growing really slowly. But I think there is a sudden burst of growth, which I noticed that's the case for most Scindapsus. Once they settle down, they will grow much faster. Once they settle down, the growth will be more robust. So what do I want to do with this one? Initially, I wanted to give it a pole to climb up so that the leaves will get bigger. but I think it's a little bit too late. So what I will do is to cut this up and propagate it further. This is actually in a very small pot, terracotta pot, which dries this Scindapsus really fast and is in this very loose aromatic mix. So I have to water this almost every 2 days, which I don't really do for Scindapsus. I let it dry out a little bit more. Especially for my exotica, it doesn't like to be too wet. But I get to water this more frequently. So as you can see, it grew from a single vine. And at some point, it has rooted itself back into the pot. This is the root which came off earlier on. It was rooted in. So yeah, I'm going to propagate this. Actually, it's quite a long vine. Pretty amazing from a single leaf. Okay, let's cut this up. Right, so this is the original vine after a haircut. These are the original leaves which are turning yellow, so I think they are probably not going to make it. I will leave this as it is. Hopefully there'll be some new growth. And yeah, these are all the cuttings, which I'm going to put everything in water, just so I can squeeze everything in. Okay, nope, this is not going to work. So I'm going to use this much bigger container, which I know is an overkill, but yep, it'll be a temporary measure. Alright, these are definitely not the right containers for them. Okay, I'm sure that the leaves are not touching the water except for the nodes. These as well. So for the time being, I guess this will do until I find better containers for them. So for this, I will let it be for a while, and then I'll give it a small moss pole to attach itself to. Alright, so these are all the cuttings that I've got after propagation. I'll keep you guys updated in a future video on their growth. So if you want to follow on the update, do subscribe to my channel and also to on the notification bell. So meanwhile, take care. I will see you again in my next video. And remember to show your plants some love.